See, now we need to discuss problem number 8 in Liquidator's final statement of account. See this, till now we have discussed 7 problems in this chapter. So problem number 8 regarding balance sheet of Matthews Limited. So now let us see that problem. The summarized balance sheet of Matthew Co. Limited as on 31st March 2015, being the date of voluntary winding up, is as under. So now if you see asset side, land and building, plant and machinery, stock, book debts and profit and loss account information is given, and the total of the asset side is 31 lakh. If you see liability side, there is cumulative preference shares of 100 each. That to 10,000, 12% cumulative preference share. So value of that preference share is 10 lakh rupees. So what do you mean by cumulative preference share? In case if there is any dividend that is not paid during the year, that you can pay in the subsequent year. Because here if there is any arrears of dividend, that gets accumulated and paid in the subsequent year. So now this is very important part in this problem regarding these two information. See this, 5,000 equity shares of 100 each, 60 paid up, that is 3 lakh. So if only one partly paid equity share information is given, then that is then there is no problem. Value is given 3 lakh, but here there are two partly paid equity share informations are there. So class of equity share is same, 5,000 and 5,000, but if you see the paid up value, for the first one it is 60 and for the second one it is 50. So total original value is 100, only 60 is paid. In the second case, original value is 100, only 50 is paid. So amount is given 2,50,000. So whenever there is this type of situation given in the problem, what we have to do? We have to equalize these two paid up value. So for this purpose, we need to do one working note. We need to equalize the paid up value. When there are more than one paid up value is partly paid shares are mentioned in the problem, then 15% debentures information is given, that is 4 lakh rupees. Preferential creditor is given 1,05,000. Then bank overdraft and trade creditor information is given. So now if you see here, bank overdraft and trade creditor, that is nothing but unsecured creditor. You can directly consider bank overdraft as unsecured creditor, as well as a trade creditor, anyways it is unsecured creditor. Preferential creditor directly mentioned in the problem. Now next thing, below this you have to see the adjustment. See this, there are several adjustments they have mentioned you. One is preference dividend is in arrear for 2 years. That means preference dividend of 2 years is not paid, and it is payable at the date of winding up or company's closure. So here preference dividend, how to calculate arrears of preference dividend? If you see here, preference share capital we know that is 10 lakh rupee. 10 lakh rupee into 12% you do, and into number of year. So here 2 year dividend is not paid. That is why what you are going to do, into 2 if you do, you will get the amount of arrears of preference dividend. So that is regarding preference dividend. Then by 31st March 2016, the assets were realized as follow. Now 4 asset information is given. One is land and building, 9,84,000. Stock is 1,63,000. Plant and machinery 7,12,000, and book debt, that is 11,91,000. So if you see, same informations are there in the asset side, but now in the adjustment they have given you revalued figure or adjusted figure they have given you. Then expenses of liquidation is 54,000, that also we know, so you can consider this directly. Then remuneration to the liquidator is 3% on the asset realized, that is nothing but on these 4 amount. If you add all these 4 amount, and on that if you take 3%, you will get remuneration to the liquidator. Then income tax payable on liquidation is 44,500. So now tax got a priority in payment. So that means it is preferential creditor. You have to understand here, income tax payable is a preferential creditor and it is not an unsecured creditor. So this you have to add to the preferential creditor, income tax payable, assuming the final payments are made on 31st March 2016. You are required to prepare liquidator's final statement of account. Yes, so this type of problem again you can expect for 24 mark. Why? Because here there are partly paid shares information is given, and that two partly paid shares are there. So now if you see here, after this we'll see the solution part. See this now, liquidator's final statement of account, receipt side we need to consider one by one item. Now first one, cash and bank information. Cash and bank information, if you see, nowhere mentioned in the problem. They have not given you cash and bank information. If you see the asset side also, it is not there, so it is nil. In this problem, cash and bank information is nil. Then asset realized, we know there are 4 asset realized given in the problem. That too in the adjustment they have given you the realized value. So directly you can consider that realized value. See this, if you see the adjustment, these 4 information: land and building 9,84,000, stock 1,63,000, plant and machinery 7,12,000, book debt 11,91,000. Same amount you need to write under asset realized. Same amount we have taken. See this, you need to add all these 4 amount, you will get the value, that is 30,50,000. So now we know asset realized total. Then surplus from secured creditor, if you see, it is nil. Why? Because secured creditor information is not there. They have mentioned you regarding preferential creditor, but secured creditors are not there, and securities with the secured creditors are also not there. So that is why surplus is anyways you should not consider. Only when there is a securities are there with secured creditor and it is realized by the secured creditor, and any surplus after taking the due amount is given to the liquidator, then you need to consider surplus from secured creditor. Then in this problem, what is different? This is different. See this, contributory here, after working note you have to write the answer. So you can say here what you have to do, your payment is made while you are calculating the surplus. You will get amount payable as well as the amount receivable. Amount payable you can write in the payment side, amount receivable from the shareholder you can show it under contributory. So this is working note. After the preparation of working note you will write the information here. So for the time being we'll leave it as it is. So receipt side, all the information we have written, so the total will calculate later. Now payment side, if you see, there is secured creditor. Again, secured creditor information not there, so nil. Legal charges, again it is not mentioned in the problem, nil. So now liquidator's remuneration, same order you have to make the payment to the concerned party. So same order in the sense, first to the secured creditor, second to the legal charges, third liquidator's remuneration, like that. So now liquidator's remuneration on the asset realized, right? So just you have to see the asset side total, that is asset realized total I am talking about, 30,50,000. So same on this you have to take 3%. 30,50,000 into 3%, you will get 91,500 as liquidator's remuneration, like how we used to do in the previous problem. Same calculation here you need to consider. Then liquidation expenses, again it is directly mentioned in the question. See this, expenses of liquidation 54,000. So same thing we have written here, 54,000. Then debenture holders, now you have to consider one adjustment. See this, what is the value of debentures given in the question? Liability side, debenture, especially 15% debenture, value is 4 lakh rupees. So when was this balance sheet is prepared? At the end of 2015, at the end of financial year. See this, 31st March 2015. So now if you see here adjustment, when does the company closes its operation? 31st March 2016. So balance sheet is given as of 2015, company closes its operation 2016. That means there is a 1 year due outstanding interest that you need to pay to the debenture holder. So debenture holder outstanding interest is to be paid to the holder along with their capital. That means with this 4 lakh rupees you have to pay outstanding interest. So see this now, 15% debenture directly from the question, that is 4 lakh rupees. Now next step, add you need to add to this amount interest up to 31/3/2016. So here interest up to 31/3/2016, how to calculate? So that is very simple. Here see this, 4 lakh into 4 lakh is the total debenture amount, 4 lakh into 15%, that is rate of debenture is given. So you will get 60,000 rupees. 60,000 into 1, since it is 1 year, 1, or you can do 12/12. If it is 6 months, then you have to do 6/12. Here it is 1 year, so we will take 12/12. 12/12 is equal to 1. So that means answer is same now, 60,000. So 4 lakh plus 60,000, 4 lakh 60,000. Debenture holder is paid. Next, we have to see preferential creditor. See, this is very important now. Preferential creditor, one information you know that is directly mentioned in the balance sheet, 1,05,000. To this you need to add one more thing, that is nothing but income tax payable. So it is a preferential payment, because you cannot keep avoiding taxes. You need to pay the taxes as quickly as you can. So that is why liquidation, on the date of liquidation, income tax payable is 44,500. Add this to the preferential creditor and write it in the format. See this, 1,05,000 plus 44,500, you will get 1,49,500 as preferential creditor. Next, after giving the payment to the preferential creditor, next we have to see to the unsecured creditor, making the payment to the unsecured creditor. If you see previous problems, what happens? Unsecured creditor is a balancing figure if shareholders informations are not given. In this problem, shareholders informations are not given, but what happens? There are partly paid share. That means you have to understand here final payment is made to the shareholder. That is why here in this problem unsecured creditor is not our balancing figure. So unsecured creditor is nothing but, again you have to see the liability side. Liability side, there is a trade creditor. See this, trade creditor is unsecured, 7,42,000 plus bank overdraft, that is 3,03,000. Add these two information, that's it. So if you add these two information, you will get one amount, unsecured creditor amount, that is 10,45,000. See this, 10,45,000 we have written. Then after this, now you have to make the payment to the preference shareholder. Preference shareholder will get their capital first. So any capital of the preference shareholder needs to be given first. So that is given directly in the problem, 10 lakh rupees. Along with that, they'll entitled to receive any arrears of dividend. So dividend you can easily calculate. See this arrears of dividend calculation. So I will again tell you, if you see here liability side, 10 lakh into 12%. 10 lakh is a value, 12% is a preference share class, into 2 years. Why 2 years arrears are not paid? That is why into 2. So 10 lakh into 12%, you will get 12,000. 12,000 into 2, 10 lakh into 12%, you will get, sorry, 1,20,000. 1,20,000 into 2, you will get 2,40,000. So now add these two information, preference share capital and arrears of dividend. You will get total amount paid to preference shareholder, that is 12,40,000. Now final payment needs to be made to the equity shareholder. Again, this information is balancing figure, and balancing figure in the sense after calculating the working note. So here both the classes of partly paid shares, that is especially they have mentioned it for equity share information they have given you, that to partly paid information. Two partly paid shares are there. So now first thing we will see the working note. See how to calculate whenever there are two partly paid share informations are given. So first you have to see when the shares are partly paid, calculation of distribution of surplus we want. First we want to identify what is the surplus available in the company, or what is the surplus available in the hands of liquidator. So that is nothing but asset side total. Asset side total in the sense, before writing the contributory. Before writing the contributory means only asset realized. Only asset realized 30,50,000 minus all the payment information, 91,500, 54,000, 4,60,000, 1,49,500, 10,45,000 till preference shareholder. All the information you need to minus. Now preference shareholder, that is 12,40,000. Again you need to minus from receipt side. So when you deduct, you will get this amount. See this, 3,50,000 receipt side minus 30 lakh 50,000 is of receipt side minus 30 lakh 40,000 is of payment side. If you find the difference, you will get the amount as 10,000 rupees. See this is nothing but net surplus. So to this net surplus you need to make a notional call. So now you may ask me what is a notional call? So notional call is nothing but you are making one imaginary call. What do you mean by imaginary call? Imaginary call in the sense we are going to equalize the paid up value. Now again, if you see the question, this is very important part. How to equalize the paid up value? First you have to identify what are the partly paid shares. So we have identified in the liability side there are two partly paid shares. So now what is the maximum amount of the partly paid share? That is 60 rupees. See this, maximum amount of the partly paid share, that is 60 rupees. One more partly paid share is 50 rupees. So now if you want to equalize the partly paid share, you want to make second share. See this, second share is of lesser amount, that is 50 rupees, and you want to make this to 60 rupees. That means in other words, what you can do, 60 minus 50. In short, you can say difference amount between these two partly paid shares, 60 minus 50, that is 10. So 10 rupees you have to make a notional call or imaginary call. So notional call amount, see this, notional call on 5,000 equity shares at 10. So especially this 5,000, in this question both the class of equity shares are of 5,000, but sometimes what they'll give you, 4,000 5,000 like that they'll give you. Then you need to see which is minimum and you have to find the difference amount. So here we've got the difference amount, 60 minus 50, that is 10, and 5,000 is equity share. So this 5,000, I will tell you again, we'll see the question. This 5,000 is of second class. This is very important, second class I am talking about, 5,000. So here no problem, both are 5,000. So you can write 5,000 directly. So 5,000 into 10, so you will get 50,000. So now add both the information, net surplus 10,000 plus notional call 50,000, you will get total surplus 60,000. So total surplus in the sense, so in this problem what do you mean by total surplus? Total surplus in the sense, if there is no partly paid shares, or if value of the partly paid shares are equal, what is our surplus? That we want. So if the partly paid shares are equal, if there are two partly paid share, and if both the category of partly paid shares are equal, what is our surplus? That information we want. That is why we have notional call or imaginary call to bring the lesser partly paid share to the equal amount of higher partly paid share. So total surplus we know here 60,000. Now next step, after getting the total surplus, now what we have to do, shares in total surplus we have to see. So one more working note you have to do. So now shares in total surplus in the sense, we know 60,000 is a total surplus, right? So now there are two categories of equity share. So one is a 60 rupees paid up value and second is a 50 rupees paid up value. So now I will name that as first one 5,000 equity share lot 1, I say, that is that you can write in the first column. Second one 5,000 equity share of lot 2, you can give a name and you can write that in the second column. So now after finding the total surplus with the help of notional call, next you have to divide the total surplus among these two categories of shares. So how to divide this? So now you have to see here a ratio. We want ratio to divide the surplus. How to get the ratio? Ratio is nothing but total number of partly paid shares given. So now again we will see the question. If you see the question here, total number of partly paid equity share, in the first case is 5,000, in the second case is also 5,000. So now take the ratio. So if you take the ratio, what it will become? 5,000 is to 5,000. 5,000 is to 5,000 is nothing but 1 is to 1. It is very simple, 1 is to 1. So 1 is to 1 is our ratio. So total surplus is 60,000. Now you have to distribute in the ratio of 1 is to 1. That is nothing but number of equity shares held by the shareholder. That to two classes of shareholder. First class 5,000, second class again 5,000. So now 60,000 into 1 by 2 you have to do. So 60,000 into 1 by 2. So first share you will get 30,000 is distributed to the first lot category. So out of this 60,000, first 30,000 is distributed to first category and remaining 30,000 is distributed to second category. Why? With the help of ratio. Again I told you, right? So 60,000 is a total surplus, ratio is 1:1. So 60,000 into 1 by 2 you will get 30,000. Again 60,000 into 1 by 2 you will get one more 30,000. So write it under respective column. That's it. So after this you need to deduct notional call again. So here we have added the notional call. Notional call is an imaginary amount, we know. So that this you have to deduct now. While deducting, what happens now? First equity lot is there, right? That is the maximum paid up value we have, that is 60 rupees. In the second lot paid up value is 50 rupees. So you have to remember here for what purpose we have made the notional call, that you have to identify. So in this problem we have made the notional call for the lesser paid up value share. So that is why here we have to deduct the amount from the lesser paid up value share. So less notional call for the maximum paid up value share, it is nil. Why? Because it is already maximum 60 rupees paid up value. But in the case of second share, it is 50 rupees. That is why we have made the call of rupees 10, that is 60 minus 50, to equalize the shares. So here what happens? Now this notional call 50,000, 5,000 equity shares at 10, 50,000. You have to deduct from the second lot. So now second lot we will deduct 50,000. Now you will understand. Now you will get amount payable or amount receivable. So how to get this now? So for the first lot, if you see maximum paid up value 60, there is no notional call at all. That means directly 30,000 is your amount payable. 30,000 minus 0, that is 30,000. That means here liquidator is going to pay 30,000 to the equity shareholder. So this is very clear. So this 30,000, what you have to do? You have to write in the payment side under equity shareholder. You have to write this 30,000. So now next thing you have to see here, second lot total surplus is 30, but here notional call is 50. So what do you mean by this? So only second class of shareholders entitled to receive 30,000, but here there is an excess amount. See this 50,000. That is why here you will get negative balance. So negative balance 30,000 minus 50,000, that is minus 20,000. So this minus 20,000 is there, right? That is nothing but equity shareholder will give this amount to the company, or they have to return this amount to the company. So what happens here? Whenever they are going to return the amount, it is surplus to the company. Why it is surplus to the company? Because here company is expecting the money from the shareholder. So this minus 20,000 is nothing but you have to write it under contributory side. You have to write this amount as amount receivable. So whenever there is a minus information, amount receivable. Whenever there is a positive information, amount payable. That one you have to remember. So after preparing this, what you have to do now, same thing you have to write in the main format. So main format, if you see, this is our format. Payment side we have entered all the information except this equity shareholder information, isn't it? So now equity shareholder information, amount payable we got 30,000. So write 30,000 as amount payable. This is our working note, or else you can say it is our balancing figure. So now this 30,000, you have to find what is the value per share. Value per share also very important. Why? Because final answer net loss should be equal. That is why we have to find value per share. How to get the value per share? So now I will tell you. So now this is 30,000 we got with the help of working note. So now you have to see what is the number of equity shares available for this category. So this category means, in the sense, you have to see here lot number 1. We are talking about lot number 1. For lot number 1, what is the equity share available? 5,000. See this 5,000. That means from this 30,000, you divide this 5,000, you will get value per share. So 30,000 divided by 5,000, you will get 6 rupees per share. Value is 6 rupees. So you have to write like this. Same thing you have to write here. Equity shareholder on 5,000 equity shares. at 6 per share. So if you multiply also, you'll get same answer. 5,000 into 6, 30,000. So we have entered payment side information. Now after writing the payment side information, there is amount receivable also, that is for the second lot. So amount receivable you have to write under contributory. See this contributory we have to write. So contributory 20,000, that is nothing but negative amount. 30 minus 50,000. 30,000 is actual amount payable to the holder, but we made a notional call and there is now excess amount of 20,000 which is to be returned by the shareholder to the company. So that is 20,000 here, contributory we have written. Again now we have to see second lot, how many shares are there. Second lot also in this problem same shares, no problem, 5,000 shares. See this 5,000. So now 20,000 divided by 5 you do, 20,000 divided by 5,000 you do, you will get 4 rupees per share. So now you have to write like this: on 5,000 equity shares of 4 at rupees 4 per share, you will get 20,000 share. So now we have entered all the information, receipt side information as well as payment side information. Now you make the total. If you make the total, 30,50,000 plus 20,000, that is 30,70,000 receipt side total. See this receipt side total. Now payment side also again same thing, 30,40,000 we have deducted, then 30,000 you add, now 30,70,000. Yes, so both the side total is also now similar. Now one more thing, after this we need to do the verification. So first step, you have to find out the surplus, then you have to make the notional call, then you have to divide the surplus between the two lot, then you have to deduct the notional call, then you will get the amount payable or receivable, then you have to write that amount in the main format. After that you have to do the verification. So now verification step is very important. One more working note we need to do, so that is nothing but see this verification of net loss. So now you have to write the paid up amount. First category of partly paid share, what is a paid up amount? That is directly given in the question, that is 60 rupees. For the second category of partly paid share, what is the paid up amount? That is 50 rupees. That is also mentioned in the question if you see the liability side. Now next very important thing, amount paid slash amount received. Amount paid, if there is any amount paid, that also you can write. If there is amount received, that also you can write. So now amount paid, here we have written minus 6. Why minus 6? Now liquidator is going to pay the amount to the shareholder 30,000 rupees, and that same 30,000 with the help of 5,000 we came to know that shares are of 6 rupees. 30,000 divided by 5,000, shares are of 6 rupees. So now this 6 rupees you have to deduct here. Verification, 60 minus 6. So you will get a net loss of 54 rupees. So now you can understand here, paid up value is 60, amount paid is only 6. That means there is a still loss of 54 rupees. Now next second lot, again paid up value is 50. Now amount receivable. Amount receivable we know under contributory side. So there we know that value per share is 4 rupees per share. So 4 you have to add, since it is receivable you have to add, since it whenever there is a payable you have to deduct. So now 50 plus 4 is 54, that is for the second lot. For the first lot, 60 minus 6, that is 54. So now final answer, this net loss should be equal, or else your problem is wrong. So if you don't get this as equal, then you have done some mistake in the problem. So that is why we are doing this verification. Now after this there is one note. See this is very important rule that we have to understand here. So if there are different categories of equity shares with different paid up value, the amount available should be distributed among all categories in such a way that balance left unpaid, that is nothing but net loss, should be equal to all category. In the sense, here after making the payment of 6 value per share, remaining 54 value per share is not paid. That is why it is a net loss. So net loss should be equal, they are saying. That means for both the category, answer should be equal. This net loss answer should be equal. Then after this, when preference shareholders do not have any priority as to the repayment of capital, preference shares should be treated as par with equity share. That means sometimes sometimes what they will give you in the question, if you see here, under preference share, or else in the adjustment they will tell you preference shares have no priority. In that case, what you have to do, while calculating this surplus working note, you have to consider preference share also. Why? Because whenever they do not have any priority, what happens, you can treat that preference shares as equity share. So equity preference share also you can consider if they have mentioned there is no priority in the payment to the preference shareholder. In this problem they have not given. If they have given, I will tell you how to do. Here shares in total surplus is there, right? Here you have to make 3 columns, 2 equity share, 1 preference share column you have to do, and verification of net loss also again 3 columns will come. So this is how you are going to solve this 24 mark problem. So now tell me, have you understood this one? Any doubt in this? Yes, tell me. Have you understood? Any questions? Amrita, Anusha, Ashish, Narasimha, Pooja, Ratish, Shifali, Suresh, Akamsha, Disha, Kushal, Nishant, Vivek, Omkar, Pramod, Sangam, Suraj, Swati, Rajat. Tell me, have you understood this problem? Any doubt? No. I hope you all have understood this one. So similar type of problem, one more problem we'll solve in the coming classes, then you will get an idea. So thank you so much everyone. We'll meet in the next class. Have a nice evening. Thank you everyone.